Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time of day you're watching this. I am Big Bad Chad, and this is another Supreme Commander replay. Today we have a four-way free-for-all between my friendship group, friends being a delicate term for how we play this game. We're friends before and we're friends afterwards. During it's a little different. So, slowing it down just so we can introduce things. It is a four-way free-for-all. This is Ian's Cross. Not my favourite map, but maybe that's because I don't historically have a good success rate on it. I'm down here in the purple, Mike's over here in the green, then we have Midge in the blue, and we have Alex Dysian in the red. So yeah, that's about it. This was actually our second game of the night that we played, and our newest player, Lofty Tiberius Rex, who will feature in future replays, if not this one, had left for tonight. So I think we're all kind of gearing up slightly for an unforgiving game, spooling for a fight, as it were. So let's see how it goes. We're going to speed it up just so we get some stuff built. No, I can talk about things first. So I am playing Cybran because they're apparently a rush faction, and that's what I sort of want to be good at. So I'm trying it, and I think I've had mixed success, which means I've had some. And then Alex is also playing Cybran. He's got his reasons. He likes them. I think he quite likes the Jesters, the Tech 1 gunships. But because he spoke to me about them in a 2v2 when I was flying around the map with them. I didn't use them very efficiently, but maybe he'll get better at using them. Midge is sticking with the UEF because they are the real humans, quote unquote. Which is quite in character. Mike is playing Aeon. Mike's flitting between factions at the moment, but I think he's kind of decided on Aeon for now. I think he really likes the donuts, the Tsars, or the Caesars, if Mike builds them. So, what do we have first out the doors? We've got a land factory from Alex, a land factory from me, unusually, something I'm trying at the moment, a land factory from Mike, and a land factory from whoever this person is. He definitely hasn't been a co-commentator. I should remember his name. Midge, there we go. It's written in the top right. Should look at the screen and read things. What a great commentator I am. So, Midge already producing military units. The rest of us eschewing that and chucking out engineers to try to expand or die, as the Romans put it. In the centre of this map, importantly, there is this large Tsar. It's definitely a Tsar, not a Caesar, because Mike didn't crash it there. So there's quite a lot of reclaim to be had there, and we all know about it, so it's not a secret. But there's also a lot of these trees about that can be reclaimed. They're high in energy, low in mass. So I guess if you're looking at like quite a lightweight diet, that would be good. Yep, that's a joke. Deal with it. That covers all sorts of academic grounds, and it's a pun. So I'm happy with that one. There are also quite a lot of the hydrocarbon plant points on here, which are really important early on. At the moment, you can see Mike edging towards one, Midge is already getting one up. Alex is picking his up, and I am moving towards mine as well, so all the better. We're on about a par there, with Mike slightly ahead of the game. Mike also the first to move towards his plateau here, which is a good idea. Expand into these mass extraction points. That's like 8 metal early on, really important. Skull's all really close with Midge having built an air factory second, putting him slightly further ahead. Mike has just started his second land factory. I haven't started mine, but you can... Oh, I have started one. You can see the third queued there. And Alex has just finished his second as well. So we're all still slightly... Well, we're all still within the same kind of development area. Mike building some AA units there to stop an early air rush, which is unlikely to occur. Midge getting out a scout just to find out where everybody is. That's his quote, not mine. As always, that falling over someone's base is definitely a declaration of war and should be treated as such. I've managed to jump into the lead here. Not quite sure why. I think I'm already... Yeah, I'm upgrading a mass extractor early. Delayed it slightly there, but it's back on. Because I've managed to balance my economy quite nicely early on, having learnt how to reclaim stuff. I mean, it's not difficult, I know. Be quiet. Don't judge me. Got some military units guarding that point there already for Midge. Midge's scout coming over Mike's base here. managing to evade all of that. Oh no, not quite. Is this the air scout dead? Yeah, no, it gets away. It gets away. Got a small force going out there from Alex, sending or racing with Mike to get an engineer out there first. It is a really nice way to boost your economy early on. It can force you into some tier 2 metal extractors really early. It just accelerates your economy, so that is quite important. Midge is nowhere near claiming it. He's expanding very slowly. He's not built extra engineers, in fact, from the looks of things. Oh, Midge. Tut. Oh no, there is one extra engineer. He's building an air factory now, a second air factory. Interesting. And his scout dies over my base. I haven't built any turrets, but nor has Mike. We took it out with units. I'm having a bit of a debate of units versus point defence at the moment, and we're generally accepting that AA point defence is probably worth it in the case you get attacked by air, which is a bit difficult to predict, as you might be able to imagine. Unless you scout, I guess. I mean, at this point, Midge knows that Mike's got 1 air base and 2 land, and he knows that I've got 2 land and 1 air as well. What's Alex doing with his life? Oh, he's queued up 4 air factories. Well, that's an aggression. Midge didn't scout that, so he's not aware of that at the moment, so he might be thinking it's a low air game. I'm finally catching up with the crowd here. I've stopped off, whereas Alex didn't, to take these over. Mike sensibly sent a second engineer in, so Alex might not have these at the moment, but he's getting into his plateau. Mike's into his plateau as well. Really nice expansion from Mike. And, oh, this race to the middle, it's tight. They can actually reclaim it at the same time. They don't need to fight over it. But Alex is sending a couple of units here that will easily smash an engineer in no time. Oh, something else flew over the base there. Not sure what it was. I missed it. Apologies. Comment in the bits below to see if to correct me on what it was. What we've got? There's a transport here. I can't see. It's an engineer. Not very interesting. Well, it depends where it goes, actually. Could be very interesting. Could easily hop up onto one of these plateaus and try to steal them. That would be a nice little trick, wouldn't it? No, he's just using it to accelerate his advance into his plateau, so that's fair enough. So here we have a couple of people reclaiming this at the same time, as I said. I'm approaching the fight. These guys just standing guard in case they need to do anything. Yeah, just enjoying that mass production. I can see here I've got a third land factory. Yes, I'm so proud of myself. Churning out units. Got a nice little mix of things there. Quite a large force. Start shoving artillery and scouts in there so that we can see what's going on and make sure everything is going as we need. But it's a bit slow, I guess, off the mark. We're at 7 minutes in and I haven't really hit anybody with it. Whereas Midge is sending out a constant stream of stuff. Getting a fourth factory now. It's another land factory. And these are now halfway built. Having a bit of a problem there. Let's have a look at... I imagined they would go up faster. No, he's doing fine for resources. What are the rest of us doing like? Oh, I'm positive. That's a shock. I'm currently playing on the basis that metal doesn't matter. So, Mike's run out of energy. A bit of a no-no in my personal book. Oh, very nice looking resources there. Unfortunately, it is still running out, but it's not bad. Not bad. So I'm reaching the middle now. So Alex has snatched one of these engineers, or if he can keep that Aeon 1 alive, then he can start building a real mix of units there. Harbingers with shield generator. Harbingers? Oh yeah, Harbingers with a stealth field generator. That would be nice. Or I was thinking of the hoplites, the tier 2 rocket bots for Cybran with a shield generator behind them. That could be nice. Leaving my forces here at the moment, so they're going to be probably a bit not good. Quite a large force being produced here by Midge. Speeds. Sorry everyone. Back to normal. So I'm pulling into the middle here. They're both reclaiming that, giving Alex all the resource he might need. I'm finally getting into my plateau, the last one up there. I'm getting some air cover now, although I'm not entirely sure that's the best idea. Perhaps I could have forgone that in favour... Well, I suppose I've got engine to spare. It's my engineer just sitting there, lonely. What a shame. Well, he's got enough air cover to keep him safe for a while. No one's going to have too much air at this point. Very thin cloud here, but again, Alex might be feeling confident. Mitch is a bit. That's not a bad little cover, even though he doesn't think he's going to need it after his scouting earlier. We'll see what happens. Man. Look at this, finally moving forwards with my forces. It's not a bad little army for like 3 minutes ago. Might be a bit outdated now. Large enough force here. There are Auroras as well, so they outrange my dudes. This is large enough just to take it, unless I get lucky with some artillery strikes. Really, the one I want to be threatening at the moment is Alex. God, look at that. Going into its 4th air factory before 10 minutes. That's 6 factories. Go, Alex. I'm impressed. So I missed this. Sorry. I've managed to capture. It was not the Aeon engineer. And now these two get brutally gunned down. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, I wonder if he uses that Aeon engineer. I don't know what it could be used for. I mean, Stealth Colossus? That could be horrific. Like the Aeon have the tier 2 air superiority fighter, which is quite nice. Instead of the Cybran fighter bomber, which is nice for bombing and not so great for fighting. Building some jesters up there now, so he does seem to like them. Are they all? Yeah, they're all on jester production. Has he got the power for that? Just about. Wobbling a bit, but lots of metal. Oh, because he's reclaiming this big old dish. No, I've finally moved these guys forward. Moving them forward. I'm still building them. That's quite a lot of dudes. I'm pretty proud of myself, though, getting them out. I mean, I think maybe the nature of having to go around 2 sides of a triangle is not so hot. But as in, it takes a little bit longer. But if I built some transports just to take them up and dump them like here, that could have been really nice. Instead of this anemic fighter shield that I've got going on. But I do have a fair number of these tier 2 metal extractors. Nice work. 10 minutes. Loving it. Maybe I've just got low standards though. Let's have a look at everybody else. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing well. Couple there. He's got a couple of air cover bits there. Oh, I've got... Oh, I'm building some turrets over there. Yeah, just in case it drops. So, a ton of units now being produced by Midge. Even more air cover. That's a lot of air cover. Is it going to be enough if he gets a... I think so. I think I'm the target of opportunity here, realistically. For look at all these engineers running around and getting reclaimed. Is it helping me? Yeah, it is, actually. Quite surprised. Smike has then circumvented this crew in the middle. Tactically. Not to take them out, but he's going to attack without any warning up there. How intriguing. Some Tech 2 units from Mike there. And no, all of this looks like it's Tech 1 at the moment. All of this stuff is Tech 1. But the artillery could be nice, like the EM pulse off it is pretty good. Quite a lot of gunships going on there, getting up towards 10. Oh, now he collapses on it. Watch this poxy little fight. Most action we've had really so far. I suppose that's the nature of it, until you get into the mid-game. I've forgotten how long this game is, but I will say for free that it goes on for a lot longer than it should do. And you'll see why as this game goes on. It's pretty interesting. It's quite cool to watch. So Alex still fairly open here. Not much to defend him if I go that way. Mike's got a tier 2 unit, but it's probably enough. Well, it's a Blaze. Not a big fan of them personally, Mike. If you do watch these, I know you only tend to watch half of the recording, and I imagine it's not the first half, so you'll miss this tidbit of information. But yeah, the Blaze I find is it just doesn't have the hit points or the punch to really deal with it. Bit of a fight going on here. Mike not wanting to lose out on the engagement. I'm moving up to join or to go in. Oh, an air factory up here. Nice, good staging. It is forward, so it is threatening. What's down here? Another air factory. Like it, Mike. Very nice. Look at this air cover. That's really nice. And even though there's, what, 15, closing on 20 gunships there, I don't think they're going to do well if they go in. Except if they go in on me. What? This scout. This is amazing. Nice work, Alex. And if that is scouted, oh, Mike finally winning this engagement here. No radar, though, so like it's a bit of hit and miss about line of sight and things. And here's me sneaking into Mike's base. Those scouts providing me with a little bit of radar coverage, I think. Let's find out if that's true. Yeah, a little bit. Not enough to know those units are actually there, but if I can't see them, then that's fine. Oh, that fighter going over there. So, Alex has scouted my base now. And he knows that I've got some anemic fighter. I think they're running out of fuel as well. He's got his own fighter shield up. Although he doesn't need it. As you can see, we're just looking at defensive fighters currently. I've managed to navigate my way round Mike's little army in the middle there. And he's got an engineer going forward to claim those points. Very important. A bit risky, but, you know, worth a risk. Oh, another scout coming in. Wonder how far it will go. I don't have a radar at the moment, which would forgive me having all my planes on the floor. But I've taken to doing that so they don't use fuel. As you can see, like, Mike's are running out. This guy comes in, scouts my base. There's quite a lot of anti-air on the ground. No, there's not. I know that's not true. Building Tech 2 units. Oh, wait. So in a second, I discovered Mike's got Tech 2 units, and I alert everybody to this fact, and everybody else is like, oh, really awkward, I'm already producing them. So am I. I don't know if that was a bluff at the time, I can't remember. Oh, look at this. This is moving forwards. There's a lot of units there. So what Midge mentioned to me... Oh, I've got a fight going on. Can't demonstrate it yet. Yeah, so I'll go and talk about that in a moment. So you can see the radar giving me a little bit of line of sight ahead of time on that Cybran artillery, which has the EMP on it. So I'm happy just to sit there in a little bit of a forward phalanx and try to trade out as much as I can. The blaze is coming in. They're just not quite tanky enough to soak the hits, especially when they keep getting hit by my artillery. I mean, there is friendly fire going on. Let's not lie about it there. So I actually clear out quite a lot of Mike's units there, and Atov sending this swarm of hideous stuff up towards Alex. Oh, a little bit of a scout there going in. Maybe my landed fighters have dissuaded him, because these are all out and will have to come back. But look, Alex is sending them out there. I'm still pushing into Mike, trying to threaten it a bit. And he's brought his Tech 1 bombers over just to put a paid to that. So what's going to get there first? Are we going to have our blue contender roll over a base with this? Yeah, so very quickly, Midge has spoken to me about the fact that he thinks pillars are really good. And I think the online community agrees with him. They are one of the best tier 2 things. They're very cheap. They've got high mass for HP ratio, or a low mass to HP. Low mass, high HP. That's the ratio we're looking at. They're good. And they kick out a little bit of a punch, so you can produce a lot of them as you go. Now, Jesters, on the other hand, are just a tier 1 gunship. They've got quite a few hit points, which is unusual for a tier 1 air unit, which makes them quite tanky, but gunships have to be. Now here we can see that all of Midge's fighters are running out of fuel. Oh dear, and the ones that aren't have gone off to go and scout. So these guys are going to be very slow to respond. He's got no anti-air in his base, unless he pulls that back, and even then it's just one. So these fighters they're not responding very fast. And his commander starts taking a lot of punishment. This is at the 16-minute mark. Boom. What an assassination. Just before this rolled into Alex's base, and there's a lot of anti-air here, and that's not going to help. So, just seconds too late, Midge has sent them up into the base to try to get some last-minute vengeance. If they'd been sent a little bit earlier, they might have been able to do a lot more. But yeah, without that anti-air cover, with all of these fighters running around on no fuel, They just weren't quick enough to fight the Jesters off. I think he had enough fighters to convincingly do it as well. Like, and now that army is gone. So I send some fighters over just to have a nose around and have a look, and immediately regret it. Because while Mike's, for the most part, running out of fuel because they've been patrolling, yeah, like, he's got lots of them, so not much I can do about that. So now we enter the next part of the game, where Mike and I are both wondering who is going to be next. And I feel like Alex has painted a target on my head because he's previously been quoted as saying, Chad attacks me first every game. This, at the time, was supported by evidence, but not because I targeted him. He just happened to be in, like, the slot that I was attacking next. And so, it's slightly less defensible. At this point, he's pretty safe from reprisals, so he's feeling okay. I don't have a large enough land force to deal with it, and I'm flirting with Mike's Air Force here, with my Tech 2 stuff. Don't really know what I'm trying to achieve, but putting the effort in, I'm doing something. Just look at these points. 50,000 of them are from killing a commander, but wow. Like, he is more than doubling us out, like quadrupling me out, and God, almost octupling Mike. Pushing into the middle here, fighting over this reclaim still. Hitting the rock there on both sides, so it's not so good. His Roar is like not able to use their range because of that hill. That's quite a large amount of T1, but there's a lot of anti-air there. I think our meta has shifted slightly, because I used to be all air, and now I'm basically air absent. Well, I say that, I'm building some stuff here. But I'm basically air absent in my plans. So I think the air power focus has shifted significantly. But this amount of AA is not a bad idea, but it's a hangover from then. Obviously it takes down the interceptor. Don't know why I zoomed in all that, not very interesting. Interesting stack of energy things here. Let's have a look at bases. I've got some shield generators up. I've got a Tech 3 power gen up at 20 minutes. Yes, well done me. And I think... Nope, Commander's not doing anything at the moment. He's probably meant to be supporting that shield thing. 2 Tech 3 factories from Mike and a Tech 2 air factory. That's some hitting power, but it's quite restricted in the amount he can produce, unless he's producing below tier units. All of these still tier 1s, still chucking out these Jesters. Not much tier 2 there, but he's got it a 5th factory, which is upgrading? Question mark? Yeah, upgrading just now. But he's really sticking with that tactic, which is commendable. Mike here coming in for a bombing run, taking out what is, for Alex, actually quite an important power plant. Although not so much, because Alex appears to have some other power. But it could have been. So it was nice targeting from Mike, especially because we know, we're all in Discord, we know that there is a lot of air power going on, and air requires a lot of energy to produce. Bit of bombing here, the Aeon bombers with their EMP, quite useful. Alex using engineering stations, which I don't do as Cybran, or maybe I should. But he's using some quite unorthodox tactics of just spamming out T1 power generators just to get power. They're cheap, they're functional, it works when you don't have to worry about pop caps, so maybe that's better than doing what I'm doing. So how many of these? 5 of these is 100, which means you need 25 of them for one tier 2 power plant. Not so great. So Mike has now sent his bombers away from Alex. He doesn't want to lose them. Their potential is quite high. Where are they going to go? They're going to go over me. I've pulled away in score lead from Mike as well. I don't know if it's defined as a catch-up on Alex, but I'm producing stuff. I'm creating a turret line here as well. Got some Tech 2 stuff up. Tech 2 mass extractors. And these things, they're just told to fly over my base, I think, or they might be targeting something that Mike knows is there. Either way, they don't get very far. Oh! Sliver of hit points between them. These Tech 2 fighter bombers are going to deal with it quite nicely. A little bit of air cover for Alex. It is patrolling around, but does he have the all-important staging station? Not that I can see. Yes, he does. I lied. It's right here by my mouse pointer. So that's pretty good for him. I've got one, but I'm still not patrolling my units. Oh, I am. But keeping some on the floor here, that could be a little sting. A nice right hook. So we've got another bunch of gunships here going for Mike next. And this is 22 minutes. So only less than 8 minutes since he made his last attack. That's a good amassing of forces there. He's managed to keep that production going quite nicely. Well done, Alex. He's patrolling up here to make sure there's no sight. Very, very forward thinking. Ahead of the game somewhat there. I've not got any anti-air turrets down, and Mike's got a few. So here's the scout force going in, looking for the commander to right-click on him. Mike's commander is not there, so that scouting action was slightly mistimed. Tech 3 land. Ooh, what are they? Harbingers. Man, that could be real nasty to roll into Alex's base, but still only the T1 anti-air. Mixing in a couple of those T2s could be really helpful there. Mike's got quite a lot of anti-air firepower. He's got swift winds, the combat fighter's up, so this doesn't look as tasty as it could have done. There's quite a few air defences there as well. Not really sure what he's looking to snipe, but he's looking for it. Maybe raid, get down that quantum reactor before it's up. I think we all saw those flaks shoot the ground there. Yeah, they get rinsed by the flak. There's just so much layering of the damage split over so many of the actual gunships. It's not... Jesters just don't have that availability. They've got a limited lifespan in the game. Although, Alex looks like he could be trying to disprove that point. He's also built a fair number of Tier 2 Rhino tanks. I don't like them. They don't pack a punch. They've got a high rate of fire, so a fairly high DPS. They're sort of tough. Nothing on a pillar from what we saw earlier, 350 hit points less. And they don't pack the solid hit like the Alpha Strike that a lot of other units do. They are, however, still a Tier 2 ground unit. I've got the remains of my Tier 1 force there, knowing it's not enough to go forwards. Building some Tier 2 forces here. Not enough air really to deal with Alex's current situation. Maybe I'll have to amend my ratios, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe Alex will shift. Oh, he's queued up. Oh, look at this, a Monkey Lord. In 25 minutes, he's already finishing, or close to finished, a Monkey Lord, and he's got 4 more queued up. Sod metal, that's a completely acceptable point of view. Down here, I'm building a megalith. And apparently another quantum power generator. How's my resources looking? Not as bad as Alex, but you know, still functionally useless when it comes to metal production. So Mike moved back and forth. I'm not sure what he did. I think he just moved out the base to prevent being shot. No, oh, he's coming back to build a Colossus. It's 25 minutes in. We're all looking at building, to greater or lesser degrees, our experimental game enders. Alex, obviously, much further along. He's got a little bit to escort it. Ah, and we're just in time to see the takeoff, or the flight of the Jesters. Where are they going to go? Wherever they please, I think is the manner. I mean, I've got some minor protection up here, but it's not really going to see off a large force. Needed to put some flak in there. I've got quite a lot of fighter bombers there, which, you know, while they're not as good as a Swift Wind, they're probably good enough to take it. Well, they're definitely good enough to take out a force of Jesters. So he splits his attack here, which is quite sensible. There's 2 objectives to raid, so why not split it? And if one's defended, then the other one won't be. Unfortunately for me, he sends his smaller force over here. If he'd sent his larger force here, I think I would have done a lot better out of this. Because this is less well defended. It nukes all of that stuff. Starts work on the defences. Instead of responding to it, I don't value that air factory very highly, apparently. So I send my stuff to have a reciprocated attack. But we've got a couple of Tier 2 air defences there, air bots and air defences. So this is not going to be enough. I think If I'd managed to sneak it round the back of his base and get his commander, maybe that would have been enough. Got my ingesters there, but we're not really seeing anything worth taking. So, yep, that's a veer off while these guys finish up that air factory. Mike having a stay of execution for the moment, getting more Harbies. That could be quite a terrifying force if it walks up here, because there's very little to stop it. So I've targeted these massive. I initially targeted this, but I don't. There was one, and I got it. So this attack has turned into a raid, hitting resources where I can find them, just to try to slow them down. What I should have done here, I think, is left the Corsairs to fight the air stuff, because they could have maybe, between the two of them, mopped up quite a few of these fighters. And then I'm going into those units as well. So yes, we're just knocking out these. Sorry, just having to adjust my headset. Knocking out these T1 generators, just hitting a couple of them there. They're labelled as volatile, but they don't really explode. Maybe because they're not laterally adjacent. But I get a couple. I hit a few things there. It's not a bad little counter raid. That Monkey Lord racing away now. It's not actually very slow either, is it? So let's have a look at the comparable units. That's not going to be ready, is it? Coming along at quite a rate, considering I have no metal. I've got a fair number of tier 1 units, but obviously they're not going to stand in the way of a Monkey Lord. Got a fair number of tier 2 units, but I don't think they're going to stand in the way of a Monkey Lord. Got some point defences, but I don't think they're going to stand in the way of a Monkey Lord. Getting another raid up here on my massive extractors, which, like Alex's, are ultimately unimportant. How's the Galactic Colossus going? It's coming along. Yeah, massively undermetalled. I personally don't like the Galactic Colossus anymore, but I suppose that's because I never accompany it with enough air cover. Like a couple of them with maybe 5-10 Harbingers, some anti-air bots tagged on behind, a couple of engineers to here, and then, what, 15-20 air superiority fighters, ASF? That'd be quite strong. So I've got a fighter bomber out there going off to have a nose round and raid. Alex has expanded into the north-west of the map, which is a fantastic idea. Bit of a scout here to see what's going on. I've moved them forwards just moving forwards really, for the sake of it. Yeah, so moving into the northwest here, very good expansion, gives him more resources. Not that he'll be able to use them for a while, because we're massively out of everything on that side. Monkey Lord, 250 energy for that. Mike's shifting his air patrol route, which is probably a good idea. Does he have a landing pad yet? No! Mike! We're closing on the half hour. You might listen to this bit. Build a landing pad. Oh, what's that? That's the dead air factory. Nope. Nope, no landing pad. I lied. I'm sorry, Mike, you have one. Maybe get more than one. For this amount of fighters, like, I would probably have 2 or 3. One here, one down at the end. So one at each of the apex of the patrol routes and one in the middle. And it just keeps them a little more split up as they try to patrol. Otherwise, they tend to run out of fuel together, clump up, forms a queue. Now, where do we think this is going? I've just been scouted fairly successfully. He's seen my developing turret line. It's not going to cause him any problems, let's be real. But he doesn't want it to get too big. He's also done a drop. Mostly rhinos and some tier 1 stuff. Mostly rhinos, though. No artillery. Oh, no, I lied. There's a single artillery piece. But let's be honest, there's one. 1 point defense. It's not going to be a problem. Pulls these units over. Doesn't need to defend the middle now. Although Mike's looking at stealing those. That turret, as predicted, didn't last very long. Firebomb is going to be pretty useful here. Unfortunately, I just had some lying around. 2 bits of tier 1 anti-air. That's going to struggle to deal with those. Marching straight past this base. He's got an objective in mind. But I don't know how far that will get. More jesters there, ready to swoop in on a weakened commander. Mine's fortunately under a shield bubble that will actually stop him. This isn't going to be ready for that. Monkey Lord, though. So, this is 15 minutes after well, yeah, 15 minutes after his first assassination attempt, almost to the minute, and another 8 minutes after his second nose into the same kind of thing. And this one is also looking quite efficient. Already in range. That's my first warning, because they of course have their personal stealth generator. Now something unfortunate happens here, for me, and you'll see what it is in a moment. This starts taking damage, that's not the unfortunate part. And yeah, it cleans up my tier 1 units. That's expected. But it starts taking a severe amount of damage. There's just a shit ton of numbers, and he's marched it past them. So the artillery, get wiped up, but some of them managed to make it past that initial sweep. He's already lost a bunch of his hit points, but he got a level up, and he got another one, which gives him a chunk more hit points. And that is the unfortunate thing that happened to me, friends. This leveled up as it chewed through that army. 65 units at 8, 2 levels up it got, and now it's repairing itself. So we're in a slightly more dire situation. These gunships have come over. They're trying to take out these to get those Tech 1 things over, or maybe they were a bit belated and been given an order. This has gone back into stealth, so I don't know where it is. These are in stealth because of the stealth bots here. But I don't know if that's enough of a tier 2 army to deal with a Monkey Lord. They're fragile as far as experimentals go, but with that self-repair level up, my mobile missile launchers not being able to bring their rockets to bear, which is a chunk of damage. Whoa, look at that damage though from those Corsairs. Gets another level up, so it heals itself again. Lovely. Knocking it down even more, the level up not helping it too much. It's just not got the fire rate really, and now with the arc of the rockets, some of them are impacting it. It's down to 15,000 hit points. 10,000. It levels up. I'll tell you folks, like gaining another 12,000 hit points every time it levels up, that is a kick in the teeth. But it's on 23,000. How's my megalith looking? Half built. Or, also known as not helpful. The anti-air on the Monkey Lord, while, you know, present isn't really enough to stop this. If I'd had maybe 5 more of the Corsairs, this would probably have gone down a chunk earlier. And my tier 2 army's struggling over. These are all anti-air because my build queues are just at an unfortunate cycle. He's got some jesters coming in here. They obviously aren't important. This is on 10,000 hit points again. 9,000. And it levels up. Goes up to 20,000 extra hit points. My commander's not even in a shield dome. Oh god. But he can't find it. He doesn't really know where I am. He's left these jesters on call in case. This isn't going to get any tougher. Like, this is as good as it gets. My commander now legging it. But that doesn't really matter. The shield's down. And now he starts taking out objectives. He's turned it into a raid. Gets that. Getting a little desperate now. As the Corsairs swing in. Got some more bots here. Don't know where they came from. I really like the hoplites, by the way. They're very nice light mobile siege bots. They do a high amount of damage. He's seen the megalith, but he knows it's down. And then this goes down, leaving my base in ruins. He's not managed another drop. He's so focused on that, and now Mike's done a counter swing to try to achieve something there, while I try to recover from this. What I do have, though, is a lot of master reclaim, which might allow me to get the experimental megalith out. Not in a great place, though. And Mike's attack going in there, covering those gunships, but he's only got 10, probably enough to kill a commander, if I'm honest. But, and again, there's not much air cover at the back of the base here. Like, there's these turrets, but had Mike swung around the back to attack from the rear, might have been better. But we have seen another spider bot going through the base. Where's that going? Hopefully not me. These guys trying to find my commander, probably for a right click so he doesn't have to find it again. I'm building this Tech 3 power generator, because what I need more than anything right now is power, so I can rebuild something. This is probably enough to stop a lot of probing attacks. I don't suspect he's got another experimental ready to go already. Really well done from Alex for doing that. He's just got that production down. That's his game-winning strategy. So Mike's Colossus is not being built at the moment. He's building a lot of anti-air to stop the snipes happening. But if the Monkey Lord comes down here, it was probably going to get taken out by these Harpies, actually. Maybe not. Maybe if they'd stayed by the point defence. But like another 10 Harbingers, and they could easily take down a Monkey Lord. They've got that personal shield to soak a bit of damage. It just means there's a little bit of extra time required to kill them. That's not what Monkey Lords want. They don't want a little bit of extra time for the enemy to be shooting at them. As we saw there, it took a significant amount of damage from tier 1 units, even though it healed most of it with the levels up. Well, that's not going to be a problem this time, because I do not have any tier 1 units. I do not have any units. This is my army. Building those rhinos, because I'd rather they died than the hoplites. So they can go up front and soak some hits. Got a transport coming in. Wonder what he's dropping. Looks like more rhinos. I'll have a look when they get dropped. But yeah, so far Alex is just dominating this game. I'm in a really difficult position. Mike's... Oh, hello Mike. That's nice. Building a couple of them. Couple of shockers. Alex knowing that I have no defences now, so he's pretty happy to drop quite deep in my territory. Very nice awareness of the battlefield. So what do we got? The Mantis for numbers, rhinos for a bit of tankiness. Yeah, quite a large army, but not too efficient. Troop-wise, I would recommend the hoplites, but it probably doesn't matter at this stage. They've just got a long range, they've got a fairly high DPS. They're not great against moving targets, where the rhinos are a bit better. Got some anti-air things. This is a really nice mixed army for mopping up a weak player who's in a bad way, i.e. this guy. Although my commander's still pretty good for life, and with a couple of tier 2 units, might be able to level up off that, who knows. That's another thing I should note. I haven't built any combat upgrades, I don't think anybody else has. Let's have a look, let's slow it down. We'll start with me, just to have a look at my upgrades for you now. Yep, there we go. Doop. Nope, just the tier 3 stuff there. Don't doubt that we've got... Yeah, it's only 2 upgrades again, we can tell from the hit points. Yeah, just up to tier 3 there, although torpedo's fairly useless in this, despite the fact it's a good upgrade. What's Mike got? Again, just 2 upgrades. What's the money on? Left arm, yeah, there you go. So no combat upgrades from us, showing our experience with using our commanders as offensive units. I have talked about it a little bit with the playgroup, but they're not very confident about it. So I'm trying to supplement my resource spend with reclaim here, saving this for when I'm building this properly. Mixed results on that. I've built a fair number of hoplites. Got a couple of tier 2 units back up. I mean, it's not going to help, is it? But that might get distracted. Look at this air cover! That's crazy. What's this? Is this more ground troops? More ground troops. This is coming in. I've got some ASF there. I've got a fighter bomber. I don't even have an air factory left. I think the plan there is to remove my fighter bombs because they did so much damage to the Monkey Lord, in fact. And this one, Mike is very nice pathing, Mike. Very nice pathing. Sending some fighters over to help here because he's got not got any anti-air. That's all very nice. Yep, and then this comes in to mop up what's left. Those tier 3 superiority fighters, the ASF is not caring at all for my stuff. Yeah, the downside of hoplites, I will accept, is that they have 450 hit points, which is like close to tier 1 numbers. I've moved my commander away. What I should have done here, I think, is sent him into the fight to get some kills and hopefully leveled him up a bit. I think also the hoplites are maybe overkill against the tier 1 units too. So if I just turn around here and got a couple of levels, could have got some commander regen on him, that would have been really nice. I'm not playing Seraphim though, so I don't get any self-repair upgrades. He's going for the assassination, which is entirely fair, and exactly what he should be doing really. Those superiority fighters may go down. There we go, eventually went down. couple of tactical mobile missiles there. Nothing going on. Oh, he's brought these back now. Mike's worried about that Monkey Lord. He's got those bombers coming in. But we're going to focus down here. Now, I'm not sure how long it takes me to realise that rhinos are faster than a commander and also have longer range. But I take a lot of hits here. But as you can see, like, the DPS is pretty low. There we go. I've turned around and I'm just fighting them. So he's removing the air cover because he knows he's got those jesters coming in. But he doesn't know I've got this line of stuff here, and those jesters are about to go straight over it. Meanwhile, this Monkey Lord is being bombed into the Stone Age, and is dead. At this point, I think Alex realises that fighting on two fronts, which is my normal mistake, is a mistake. I'm taking a shed load of damage. You might remember this from when Midge was being taken out earlier, but you can see it's just not lasting long enough. I escaped with a fair number of hit points. He sent his Rhino tanks over here to try to eliminate my point defence, but they just don't pack the punch to take them out quickly. Really nice at clearing Tech 1, these Rhinos. Not great at clearing bigger things. They're not going to take down my commander. I'll redirect my targeting there so that it's a little more efficient, and I'm going to give this to you for free. I mop it up. I don't level up with my commander though, and I miss a trick on that one. Now Mike is marching into his base with Harbingers and a couple of Blaze. I mean, Harbingers pack a punch and they've got quite a lot higher rates, so I don't think they're too bad if they're mobbed by tier 1s. But at this point, that's not going to happen. The Rhinos suffer a little bit there as well. He's bringing these in. Mike's got no air cover. It's been abandoned back down here. But he is bringing in these strategic bombers. Again, though, oh, another Monkey Lord. As fast as we can kill him, they're coming back out. He doesn't know where Mike's commander is. He's flown over the base twice now. And he's not... Or maybe once. Pardon me, I might have been one of those. But he's not really... Oh, he's going for targets of opportunity now. He's just taking snipes where he can see him. This commander is very vulnerable to bombing runs. Or when he sees him. Does he get it? Does he see him? I hope he sees him. But this is unfortunate timing that it turns up just at the same time as... you see that Harbinger losing a fair amount of time. He's not paying attention. I think he has right-clicked the commander with those bombers, but there's not going to be enough of them. This cub is straggling in at awkward times, meaning this Monkey Lord's going to take them out. He's taking a fair amount of damage. It'll probably level up off it, though, so that's not so bad. What could have been a very dangerous attack, yeah, he was right-clicked by those bombers. What could have been a very dangerous attack has been curtailed by unfortunate chance in timing from this Monkey Lord, but also Alex's ability just to churn them out continually. He's now building his 5th Monkey Lord. Let's put that in perspective. This is his 4th one. The other 3... No, that must be his 4th one, so he's cancelled one. The other 2 taken out. This one had a knock to its pride, certainly, like a fair 5th of its hit points taken off. It's not been a good day for his Monkey Lords. My Megalith is almost off the ground, but I'm not really in a position to recover too well. I've got a nice mixed bag, got some Rhinos in there to soak it, it's got some Hoplites to take some damage against probing attacks. And I think it's at this stage when Alex tells me that, or offers me a truce, which I snap up because I'm not going to be doing anything. He's like, well, I might have to deal with Mike. I don't know what Mike's doing, so that's a very fair comment. Oh, he's got another 3 of these bombers out. That's really nice. You need 5, well, maybe 10 to take out an upgraded commander. If he comes in round the top, he knows where his commander is now. So, oh, look at that, they've changed direction. Bit of air cover there. We know he's still building the... still tier 1s. Tier 3 air factory now, good choice. Well, that's for the ASF, isn't it? But these 4 have just been told to infinitely build the Jesters. Those Jesters are fully capable of taking out a Colossus, because it's got no AA. So Mike needs to attach some fighters to it, or even some ground-based AA, like the Sky Slammers or whatever the Aeon equivalent is at tier 2. They rinse those things. Look at this! I was lying. This wasn't when the truce was offered. Spoilers, a truce gets offered later on. I've got some anti-air up here now, but these transports are just a bit too tanky for that. What's in them? Is it tier 3 stuff? Is it those look like rhinos. And I've got a tier 2 force here as well. Like, I've built up, and my megalith, it's off the ground! Yes! Fantastic. But I pull it back. Why do I do that? I don't want him to know I've got a megalith. Is that a good decision? No. I should get that leveled up off that T2 army. It will munch through that. Nobody's business. But I don't know what he's got, and I'm in definite cockroach mode. So, there's only so much I can say to defend myself here. I didn't want him to know I was too much of a threat. I thought he could respond with more. I thought he was being a bit casual here. But I think, actually, looking at the replay, he's churning out. He's doing everything he can to try to win the game, as he should be doing. And I just underestimated what he was doing. So this is interesting. I don't know where that Monkey Lord's going, but in fact we can find out, I think. Yeah, it's just being told to wait in the middle, and it will do. These guys coming forwards. My megalith here, protecting my commander, who's running away. Tier 2 army coming down to protect the thing that's important, which is this area. Oh, love it. My bomb missile launcher. Some of my new favourite units. Got quite a few jesters there. He's taking out my anti-air defence, so I can't hole up there again. I decide that's worth defending. Also, like, without the punch of the hoplites, my rhinos can engage his rhinos, my hoplites can take out his rhinos. Problem solved. Oh, that's unfortunate. Mike loses his bombers in the middle. And he's not got the anti-air to deal with this air cover. Really good tactic there from Alex. Learned from last time. And decided that it was worth sending some of his ASF down. Little tier 2 fight going on here. Again, I think I can probably get away with I should definitely send the megalith in, if not my commander, or both. Send in both, because they're not going to die to that combined, especially with this army here. This army, I think, is just sent with the sole express purpose of annihilating my air defence. There's a little pocket of it down here, and there's a fair amount around my base, though, so I think I'm okay. Now, these jesters make short work here of the Harbingers, although so too does this. And because there's no anti-air defence, I mean, admittedly, it would be taken out quite quickly here. But this Galactic Colossus is going to suffer. Now, what Mike could have done is made some Caesars. And I'm using them in Mike's honour. Because that poor spider bot, this is what I mean by they're fragile. It's actually got a higher DPS rate than the Galactic Colossus. But it can't outpace it. And it doesn't have anywhere near the hit points. So it's just getting pooped on. He turns to fight, but too late. However, this Colossus is never going to kill those flying things. What I would really like to see, perhaps this has happened in Forge Alliance Forever, the fan-made platform for the game, where the Colossus can use its gravity fists to pull in air units, which would be pretty balanced, I feel, because those gravity fists aren't great. We've got more gunships coming down because they're not killing it very fast. I mean, they're killing it fast enough, I think. I don't think it's going to make it to that base. Bit of cover here, so AA can't get in. Mike's written that off, I think, as dead. Yeah, he's not responding at all. Yeah, it's just going to go down. And this is why I don't like the Galactic Colossus. Yet another Monkey Lord coming out. Oh, he's upgraded. He's turned his offense into Soul Rippers, which is why it was so important for him to remove that that anti-air from my base. That only counts as one kill, though, so it's not going to upgrade into anything. Building a second megalith. What I feel I could have done with one megalith up. Pretty confident. I mean, it is the best land-based experimental. I could have probably expanded now and got some more resources, some more builders. Could have got myself some more anti-air, because that's the only thing that's really going to get into my base. The megalith's going to see off any ground-based attack. Now this might be the... No, it's not the point at which he calls a truce. Look at these guys. They're just camping out there. There's no truce yet. That's a lie. Mike's still struggling to stay relevant. Not... Oh, there we go. We've got some anti-air. Is he building more? He's building some strat bombers. He's building a Tsar. He's not building any ground-based AA though, and if he does build them, then that's a lot of problems solved. Alex, run of the map. Nothing I can do about it because I'm stuck down here. This is what I mean by expanding my resource base. If I'd snatched that time to try to build a few more resource generators, build some more workers, like just done more with what I had, then I could probably have got back in this game in a more meaningful manner. I mean, I've got a megalith and I'm building a second. That's about a third done. So that's not a bad recovery from my little cockroach play here. These transports going into the base, flinging out some pretty unimportant AA. Unfortunately for Mike, they're focusing the wrong things. Still building this tier 1. There's quite a lot of it here. Some rhinos. Again, that's a nice little raiding force for this stage in the game. If it catches a commander out by itself without combat upgrades, it's going to kill it. But like these harbingers, like Alex knows Mike's got harbingers. Alex knows Mike's churning them out because he's had 2 forces of them run at his base, and they're not small forces. Like, he's dealt with both of them, sure, but that's because Mike's not built to deal with how he's losing his dudes. So, Mike does move his commander, or is that just building? It's just building. It's getting hopeful that Mike was doing the right thing there. Yes, so this force is like a raiding force, but it's not. Yet someone who's churning out harbingers. Anybody who's churning out like tier 3 units, it's not going to be great. And so their harbingers are also quite quick. Like, he's responded to this. Rhinos are fairly slow, which is slowing down because the little mantises are very fast. But the mantises on their own wouldn't scare the commander in those small numbers. And here, I think we're going to see the harbingers demonstrate the power of T3 versus. Like, the rhinos aren't lasting any time at all. So much for being tanky. Absolutely rinsed. Do we see Mantis being popped in 1, maybe 2 hits? 1 hit. Terrifying overkill. 3 points for Mike. He's now overtaken me, but that may not be surprising. Mike's almost at the same level as Alex points-wise, but look at the map position. Like, it's not a contest of equals. Right, so here we go, Monkey Lord. Still no truce. Oh man, I feel like I made that up. Maybe I dreamt it in a fever dream during the game. What's my commander do? Yeah, finally building some more resources. That's, I think, the right thing to do. What are we doing over here? Oh, he's building that. That's fine. So yeah, this is going to stomp through those defences, maybe take some damage. This is the one that got some experience. No, it's not. This has no kills currently. Belated transport. Oh, it's a ferry. He set up a ferry point. Which is unfortunate there, losing a transport unnecessarily. You don't really want to lose them. I mean, they're not expensive and stuff, but it's the time it takes to build them. They're quite tanky, which is beneficial. Mike's built this radar down here. It's not tier 3, Mike said it was an omnisensor after the game. You lied to me. If it had been, would have ruined all of my plans not to be spotted. But I don't have any stealth generators in my base, if you want to call this a base. It's not looking bad though. I've still got 2 Tech 2 factories. Got some Tech 3 power. Now I know there's another Monkey Lord coming towards me. Because that fire pattern is now familiar. It's preparing itself already. Good. Fucking Cerberus is pretty useless for the same reason rhinos are useless. Gets rid of my radar, which was my omnisensor. That's a bit of a kick in the teeth. I have to build another one. Upgrading some shield generators. My megalith stamping forwards to try to get involved in this thing. I know I can take it 1-on-1, so I'm confident. I don't want to risk my army, I don't want to risk it levelling up. Not going to make the same mistake as last time. You know, why bother? These patrol routes are very close. That's a little bit saucy. At this point, Midge is in the Midge is in our Discord call. He's watching my stream, and Alex has been saying you're probably building an experimental, and I hadn't lied to him because I wasn't building 1, I was building 2. And Midge has come forward in this and been like, and in the left corner we have the red contender, Monkey Lord. And in the purple corner, we have the purple contender, Megalith. And I think Alex thought he was joking. Oh no, what a shame. Lose that. Lose that. Unimportant, doesn't level up the Monkey Lord. This is a lot of tier 1 gunship though, isn't it? And yeah, it says anti-air on it, but it also says anti-air on the Monkey Lord. And we know that's not very good. Oh, come on. That was in range. Don't give me that. I know I've got power. Feel cheated. Oh no, I do move my army. Tragic. Oh, look at all of these Seg 1 gunships. Alex, this is amazing. Look how many there are. So those rhinos soaking a little bit of damage because the laser's out of range. Just distracting it while my Megalith gets in range. So out comes the laser. Out goes the anti-air. Boom! Big hits. And he's not focusing on my Megalith at all with the Monkey Lord. Sure, the gunship's coming, but they then hover over 3 flak turrets. You can just see them disappearing. He tries to take him out, but it's just not good enough. And this Monkey Lord is... Oh no! Big brother, why? Big spider beats little spider. Only counts as 1. No levelling up there. Regenerating exceptionally slowly. So he has taken, basically, my military merit down by 50%. Which is a shame, but I've survived yet another attack. He does, however, have more Tech 1 gunships coming in. The sheer amount of Jester pilots who died in this game. I know they're all machines, so it doesn't really matter. But like the sheer amount of Jester AI programs that died. That gave their lives in the name of Alex's defense, or offense, or both. Taking out my super unimportant mass extractors. Let's see how my mass is. Minus 213, but pretty good for power. So what's Mike doing? Mike's got a Zara up. Nice, nice. Keeping it at the back of his base. Nice and safe. Putting some stuff in it too. Very nice. He could shove in these strategic bombers. Come up right round the top. There's quite a lot of Tech 1 stuff there. Some Tech 3, but shove all of these Tech 2s in. It doesn't need to be patrolling. That's my new philosophy. I mean, I don't have anything to patrol with, so maybe that's currently unimportant. More gunships coming down. Like, I think Alex thought I was weaker than I was. Like, these probing attacks are not enough, really. Getting... No, not a couple of hits here. They're taking out a mass extractor, which is ultimately unimportant. Because as we saw, I've got minus 1 million mass. How's Alex doing for mass? Minus 69, and he controls a third of the map. Still, I'm like, I haven't upgraded my air power. Ah, so is he doing what I think he's doing now? Yes, he's got a Soul Ripper. So what that wasn't an attack. That was to try to find my commander. He's now desperately upgrading shield generators. What he should be doing is also desperately building SAM sites. But I'm not, because I haven't seen a reason to do so. These Tech 1 gunships are getting consumed by my flak artillery. Look at this. Look at the veterancy. Well, don't look at him. He's not with us. Ah! Is this the point at which I... No, not yet. So he's done some scouting, didn't really like what he saw. This might be the stage now where he... Oh, I told Mike to do something offensive here, so he flew this fighter over my base. I thought Mike was in a much better position. Look at his score lead. It's amazing. He's not killed anyone. Alex has been stomping all over the map, and Mike's suddenly 110,000 up on him. I don't know how that worked out. It's because he's got all of this resource generation, I think. He's building another Galactic Colossus. Like sending in those 2 units together, that could be fierce. He's building more air superiority fighters. That's the right thing to do. That could be really good, actually. The Soul Ripper's coming down. Still no... I think I maybe had that fever dream. Getting some scouts, trying to get a right click on my commander. There's a lot of flak there, but not any SAM sites. And realistically, SAM sites are what I need to deal with this. So, and he's skirting it around the edge of the map. He's been a clever boy, trying to take... see, if you run down this little grey line, you can right click on it, but you don't appear on the radar. You just bounce in and out like he's doing here. So he's just hovering about. Like, my flag's just not up for killing tier 3 ASF. I don't know what I was doing. Look at that storm. I need some SAM sites. I desperately need some SAM sites. But I don't get it. Now this is when I start toying with the fact that the megalith walks over lots of other units. So if I put my commander underneath the megalith, like so, it should hide him from A, fire, B, being able to be targeted. Because I don't know if you've ever, like, you can do it, but it's awkward. You have to zoom in for it. And in comes the Soul Ripper. Now the Soul Ripper is not my favourite experimental by a long way. But it seems pretty good, doesn't it? This heavy shield generator lasting a little bit of time. If I managed to get my commander in this other shield, that would have been good. I tried to assist here, but I couldn't do it in time. Now I'm just desperately staying under here, letting the megalith take the damage, letting my flak shred it. And because it's a gunship, it rotates its course. So poor Alex has to keep changing its firing arc. And now, isn't this clever? It's not going to work. He's not going to drop it. He's not going to be able to shoot me down, but he might be able to drop it on me. Unfortunately, because it's a gunship, it tries to rotate back out. And I now move my commander. I don't think that was a good idea. Oh! But I survive. And so does the megalith. Again. At this point, this is the truce point. This has to be the truce point. When Alex says, you know what, Chad? I'm going to leave you be for a bit. Shall we call a truce? I think this is the truce point. And I say yes instantly because, I mean, I think that's dead, by the way. I don't realise that that's alive on 240 hit points. I go and hide in the corner because that needs repairing. And I need to rebuild some resources. We're going to speed it up here now. Because as you may have noticed, nothing's happening for a little bit. Mike is building this Colossus. That's going to be up soon. He's got quite a lot of air firepower on here. That's nice. He's got a lot floating about. Oh, it's not the truce point. Those gunships don't look like they're having a truce, do they? Loses a couple of them. Maybe a couple as he goes over there. I've already run off and I've got a shield generator, a stealth generator. Back to my old ways. And there's still quite a lot of flak turrets here because they've not been eliminated and they're under a shield. So there's not much chance for these poor jesters to get involved again. And they don't even scout particularly well. They just know that my base is ruined. Hello, though. This is what they were actually doing. They were trying to get sight on a commander for these guys. I'm still producing these tier 2 units. I think I send them out. Yeah, I send them out as little scout forces. Just try to look like a commander. Oh, man. Those pack really... Oh, those are hoplites. Never mind. Maybe they don't pack that much of a punch. And then they start shooting other things. They pack a fair punch, 150 volley. They've got a few hit points, but they start going down. There's just not enough of them. Doesn't really target anything. He can't see my commander. If he's got an Omni-Sensor, he's seeing these sensors go off. Now is definitely the truce point. Now is the truce point. Like, Mike's Colossus is marching up. The Tsar's got... It can't move and produce, but that doesn't really matter because it can catch up with that Colossus, nobody's business. So by the time the Colossus is here, I reckon if Mike tells the Tsar to guard this, then it'll have caught up by that time. Building another quantum reactor, nice and fast. He's not having any problems with his economy. Wouldn't know what that's like. As I start desperately building a tier 2 power generator to keep my stealth field generator online. Still building stuff here. He's got these as well. I think that's got a capacity of 30. So we're sending that forward. He's got a fair amount of AA, so he's learned. That's good. I still pack more because the Colossus does deal with most of the ground units. Like, It doesn't deal with the megalith, but it doesn't do a bad job. Right, and this Tsar is now finally, it appears, going off by itself around the outside. Look at all this tier 1 fighter cover. He's using them instead of scouts. Is that what he's doing? I've got a Soul Ripper coming in this side now, so it definitely is the truce time. The Tsar's been found. Gonna slow it down. Soul Ripper undecided. No, it's coming back by the looks of things. Mike doesn't turf out the fighters, which is probably a good plan. Because that Zara's just mopped all of them up. But it's not spotted the... Oh man, this is horrible. This is going to be so bad. And these are Tech 2, these are Tech 3 mass extract fabricators. They're volatile. So... Now Alex panics a little bit. Well, not panics, but has to act, or feels he has to act, because he doesn't know if this is going to work. He hasn't seen Mike's base in a while. Mike actually has SAMs, but... Oh, Mike does have SAMs. That's a lot of SAMs. Oh, dear. Do they get spotted? Well, Mike's done a really good job of making that resource field, but there's not the shields to protect it. And even from, like, a tier 4 gunship, like the Soul Ripper, those shield generators do mean something. We saw from my end. I don't have anywhere near the SAM capability that Mike does. It's just all in the wrong place. Like, look! Look! There's nothing down here. It's not going to reach. All this stuff might, but it's not going to be enough. So this commander... Oh, that was bad. So where's Mike's experimentals? Mike Zara's there. He's clicked it back. It's too late for that. That Soul Ripper goes down. But it gets the commander. Just in time. Just in time. And that leaves just me. So Alex has been denied a 40-minute win. Because realistically... If I'd gone down, if he'd been a bit luckier, or if he'd pathed his units a bit differently, he could have found my commander with that first Monkey Lord and taken him out. That was the tight time. And that Soul Ripper almost had him too. He's been trying, and it's been so... He's been able to keep up that pressure to the extent that I've not been able to recover. Yeah, I could have been built better. Mike potentially could have made his attacks a little... I don't think that's a mistake Mike's going to do twice though. I think Mike's definitely going to learn from that. Hopefully he'll listen to the commentary, all of it, not just 50%, and hear the bits, or he'll just hear the bits in the 50% where I tell him repeatedly, get some anti-air fighter cover for your Colossuses. Like Colossi. Just like a Tsar with 20 ASF in it, hovering above the thing, and then as soon as any air fight goes down, boom, you're fine. And then on the ground, get some like siege bots, like the tier 3 siege artillery. They're extremely powerful. They can be helped to use to support the Colossus as it advances. They've got such a massive range. Your Aeon, get some shield generators for that poor Colossus boy. Oh, can you imagine that, a Colossus under a shield generator? It would be horrible. So now, I'm building a... Oh, we had to pause it several times because Alex's cat tried to escape. I'm building another megalith here. I've decided that I'm just going to build tier 1 bots, and it works. That megalith gets up, slightly damaged, but hey-ho. I've got 2 megalith now. That's not bad. Not appropriate response to a Soul Ripper offensive, though. And I'm building more resources. What Alex does, I think he now thinks that I'm super crippled, whereas I'm probably at my strongest point for the last half hour, ironically. What I should be doing is building more... I've built more shield generators because I can layer them, and that's going to be quite useful against the Soul Ripper. What I should be doing is building any amount of SAM, though, because the Soul Ripper falling down isn't as big as the Tsar. It doesn't have the same crushing impact we saw there. Didn't kill the megalith, didn't kill my commander. I'm not sure if my commander took any damage. I think it was basically the megalith that soaked it all. I've expanded out. I'm getting my resource game back up. He's sending out this fairly impressive army. Still rhinos. Get some hoplites. He has. Get more of them. Love them. They just pack such a wallop. Such a range. I'm reclaiming here. I've put my army on the front line. I know that our truce is over. I'm not going to lie to myself about it. But what's Alex doing? Why is he not attacking straight away? He's building his own megalith. He's got a Soul Ripper there, but I think he's going to try to kill me with these units. So let's speed this up. I mean, there's not much more interesting to say. My commander comes back out, because I've got no tier 3 engineers, to start a megalith. Gets a couple of hit points on it. My engineers do it, and then he runs back. Because this is his safety zone. This is where he does his safety dance. And now I just want to demonstrate that without metal, with a solid 0 metal, I'm chucking in like 100 hit points a second into this Megabot. Like, that's not a small amount of build power. And Midge is watching this in the Discord, as I stream, and Mike's watching as well. He's like, "Does that do anything?" And I'm like, "It definitely does, Mike. Look at this. We're on normal speed. It is a way of doing it." So I'm just building continually tier 1 engineers at this point to try to offset my lack of actual build power and my lack of time. So we're building a third megalith in the middle of my base. In the middle of the ruins of my base. So yeah, sure, I could reclaim the Soul Ripper and it might give me 100 metal a second, which sounds like a lot. But remember, I'm at minus 500. So, no. One Soul Ripper's not going to count. And Alex has obviously agreed with me and said metal's not important. I think it's important early on, but not later on. I shouldn't be building this ion reactor. I think I worry about my ability to maintain... I shouldn't do. Oh, maybe I want to build an Omnisensor, actually. So I get some... Oh, no, I've already got an Omnisensor. No, should definitely be building some SAMs. Because I know that's his new tactic. But hey, I can't go back in time and slap myself in the face for that. I want to, though. So we're on +5 now. Alex moving his forces forwards. Got some loyalists, nice. I mean, they are really nice, but I like putting maybe like 1 brick for every 3 loyalists. So there's literally a brick in the way. Loyalists are nice, they're very dangerous, but they don't have the same kind of survivability as bricks. Oh, I'm building some artillery, because that's there to pound things as it comes in, but let's just demonstrate the lack of range that they have. That's not... 2 artillery isn't going to kill them in time. 3 artillery probably won't either. But, you know, that's the Monkey Lords as they come in. That's going to be a bit of damage on them. Jester's coming in, taking out my false economy, my faux economy. Bit of scouting going on here. Am I building turrets yet? Back under my megalith shield. Nope, still building the fusion reactor. Definitely, because I've got engineers building that fusion reactor, should have gone off and built SAMs. Could I have won? No, but I could have made Alex work for it. Because that's not what I've done throughout the entirety of this game. So there we go. We've got the Soul Ripper coming in now. Got these guys coming in. Alex just wants to go to bed. I know he's got a Soul Ripper coming in. I think this is the point. Why past me? Why are you building a fusion reactor? Why? Why? You've got like a fusion reactor worth of energy spare. You're not going to build... And then we've got that megalith marching down. I've got 2. Halfway to a 3rd. Got yet more Tech 1 engineers to come round and build it. Like, it's getting to the stage where despite my rather crippled... And you can see these 4 Tech 1 factories come out to just shove out more engineers. You know, if it ain't broke. I mean, my base is broke. It's horribly broke. This isn't a worry. I've got 2 megaliths. I could deal with that, even with the loyalists. This, on the other hand, this is a problem. So we're going to slow this down. We've got a SAM! Just the 1. Hiding in my corner. But I just don't have the AA firepower here. That SAM... Oh, God, those SAMs really do pound them. SAM's taking off 1,200 hit points a second. So Alex decides he's just going to go for these. Great idea. Takes the shields down on them. My commander's under this again, but I just don't have the firepower this time to deal with it. Apparently I built a SAM over here, just not on my base. And what I try to do here, this is a bit sneaky. So I try to trade out which of my megaliths is covering my commander. It's utterly pointless. I appreciate that. But you can see me moving him there. Look, he's got him hidden. Try to make it a bit more difficult to right click him. I'm not going to make it easy. But if you scroll all the way in... No, you're still hitting the megaliths. But he's down. My commander goes up in flames. That's it. The game's over. Alex, after a hard-fought hour and a third, gets a well-deserved win. 15 minutes in, it was looking like it was Alex's game. Half an hour in, it was looking like it was Alex's game. And then after that, he said it himself, he didn't know how to close it out. He was struggling to do so. What can I say? Well played all round. There's some useful tips for all of us there. Midge, I think, is very well aware he needs a bit more air cover over his base. Mike needs some air cover over his Colossus and other experimental units. Alex, like, you've maybe learned how to close out a game when you're that far ahead. Although Mike still finished with more points than him. Well done, Mike, I guess. That's resource generation, though, from that massive resource field Mike had. Like, it wasn't small. Let's have a look at it. Boom. That's not small. That's a lot of resources, and that's all points. So it does inflate your score. Yeah, so I think Alex needs to figure out how to lever an advantage. I don't know if I'm the person to tell him how to do that, seeing as how my claim to fame this game was clinging to life like a cockroach. I think my lesson is to be... I jumped a phase there. I went straight from, like, essentially Tech 2 rushes into experimentals. And I should have focused a little bit on securing my base. Like, getting some air cover would have really helped. I mean, the Monkey Lord just punched through. That was unexpected. But if I built the Monkey Lord first, or even a Soul Ripper first, instead of the Megalith, I think that would have been up and ready in time to deal with it. So, like, hyper endgame units probably don't need to be built late mid-game. That would be my lesson. So that's that. I hope you all enjoyed it. I mean, I very much enjoyed playing it. I know we all did. Congratulations to Alex for his solo win there. Very well deserved. And yeah, please, like, comment, subscribe. If you've got tips for us on what we should do better, let us know. If you think something was particularly entertaining, let us know. If you've got a challenge for someone in the future, like win with a certain type of unit. Are we good enough for that? Probably not, but we'll try it. Or some of us will. I'm definitely game. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe, and good morning, evening, night, whatever time of day you viewed this. Hope you had a great time. I'm Big Bad Chad, and I'm tuning out.